I'm in the kitchen today baking up one of your favorite recipes. We posted these chocolate peanut butter Buckeye Brownie Cookies on our site over 6 years ago. It was one of our first recipes to go viral. You guys loved it. It starts with a brownie mix, it has a peanut butter ball on top, and it is covered in milk chocolate. Let me show you how to make them. You'll want to start with a family-size brownie mix. We love using the dark chocolate flavor, but you can use any flavor you'd like. They're always changing the number of ounces. It should be around 19.9 or 19.5 ounces. Just make sure it's a family size, the kind that you would bake in a 9x13 pan. Add that dry mix to the bowl. Don't pay attention to the ingredients on the back of the box. We will be adding our own ingredients to this cookie recipe. Add 1 egg. Then add 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. You want to make sure that the cream cheese is softened so that it will mix in easily. Then add 1/4 cup or 1/2 stick of butter. Just pour that right in. This will mix the easiest if you use a hand mixer. This batter will be really thick, but just mix it until it is all combined and looks like a really thick brownie batter. We always take a rubber spatula and just mix in that last little bit. Make sure all of the brownie powder is mixed in. That's all it takes to whip up the cookie part of these Buckeye Brownie cookies. So the next step is to get the cookies baking in the oven. So I have a cookie sheet here in a cookie scoop, and I will take the cookie scoop and scoop balls of cookie dough onto the mat. This recipe will make anywhere from 18 to 24 cookies. It really depends on how big you make the cookie dough balls. The cookies won't spread a whole lot. You do want to leave a little bit of space in between each one, but they will poof up more than they will spread out, so you can have them fairly close together. We usually fit about 12 cookies on a baking sheet. I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These will bake for about 10 to 12 minutes, and it really, again, just depends on the size of the cookie dough balls that you've made. The next step to this recipe takes just 2 ingredients. 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, and then 1 cup of powdered sugar. Use a hand mixer and mix up these 2 ingredients until all of that sugar is nice and creamy inside the peanut butter. Now, different types of peanut butter will sometimes have a little bit of a different texture. So if you find that the dough is too wet, add a touch more powdered sugar. If you find that the dough is too dry, add just a little bit more of creamy peanut butter. But once you have your dough mixed, it's time to roll the balls. Now I got about 22 cookies out of this recipe, so that means I want at least 22 peanut butter balls. So start by rolling just about 1 inch or a little bit over 1 inch size peanut butter balls. After you've rolled the same amount of balls that you have the amount of cookies of, then we'll just set these aside until the cookies come out of the oven. Now immediately as the brownie cookies come out of the oven, you'll take peanut butter balls and press them right into the top of the cookie. Now these cookies are best if you do not over bake them. So the brownie part is going to be really soft when it comes out of the oven. I recommend letting the cookies cool on the baking sheet for 7 to 10 minutes, just so that that cookie part sets. If you move it too soon because of the heaviness of the peanut butter ball, the cookie might fall apart. The last step to these delicious cookies is to melt the chocolate for the chocolate topping. To do this, use a high quality chocolate. We like to use these Ghirardelli milk chocolate flavored melting wafers. They also come in dark chocolate, so you can use those too. They melt beautifully just in the microwave. So I used about half of this bag, so about 4 to 5 ounces of chocolate wafers in this bowl, microwaved it for 1 minute, and I can stir and it's completely and beautifully smooth. Now drizzling chocolate can get just a little bit messy, so notice that I have a wire rack with a pan underneath so that I can keep that chocolate off of the countertops. You could also use a piece of parchment paper. So I have the chocolate, and I'm just going to spoon it over top. just to cover the peanut butter ball. Some people like to use a chocolate frosting for the top of their cookies, and that's totally fine if you like that, but we wanted these to be a little bit more like the traditional Buckeye balls that you eat during the holidays and during Ohio State Buckeye season that are peanut butter balls dipped in melted chocolate. So we love to use chocolate on top, but if you need something a little bit quicker, you can totally use store-bought chocolate frosting. If you're decorating these cookies for the holidays, you can put colored sprinkles on top for whatever holiday you'd like to share them with people on. So you can use Christmas sprinkles or Valentine's Day sprinkles. Just make sure to add those sprinkles when the chocolate is still wet so that they stick. And then comes the hardest part, waiting for the chocolate to set before you can dig in. So just set them aside. It will take a couple of hours at room temperature for this chocolate to set. You can also pop them into the fridge so that the chocolate sets more quickly. I hope your family loves these Buckeye Brownie cookies. I'm Julie from Taste of Lizzy Tea. Be sure to hop on over to tasteoflizzytea.com, print out the recipe for these Buckeye Brownie cookies, and be sure to check back next week for a new video.